How's the weekend going? Okay, now I've come with news from around Africa and other parts of the world. I don't have anything from Nigeria, but let's hear this one from Tanzania. The Archbishop of Arusha, Most Reverend Isaac Amani Masawe. He's calling on parents. This is so funny. I don't know, I just find it funny. Anyways, he's calling on parents to embrace larger families. Have larger families, and then your home should be nurseries of faith. Why? Because he feels this will promote vocations. More people will go into the priesthood, so we'll have more clergymen, we'll have more religious. So he said this during a recent ordination of 17 deacons. And he also stressed that parents can guide children, but it's actually God who calls. But I'm wondering, with all of the stress in raising children, maintaining a family, larger families, is that all we really need? Don't you think we just need families more grounded in the faith, so that whatever number of children they churn out in society, they will toe the right path. Not necessarily becoming religious, but at least they'll be responsible individuals in society. So I don't think it's about the number of children, but I think it's more about values, parents being able to bring children who are well grounded in values that nothing can shake. No matter what they see out there, no matter what they encounter in the larger society, they'll be firmly rooted. Anyways, that's his take. And maybe, larger families could also help parents, allow some children to toe the religious line. One thing he said that I totally agree with him is that parents should not interfere in the life of children who have already said yes to God, So during their spiritual mission, parents, family members, do not interfere. Just let them go through that spiritual journey on their own. From Cameroon, our neighbors right here, we've got the story. Bishop George Nko of the Kumbo. Do you know there is a Kumbo diocese and then there is a Kumba diocese? Yeah. I learned that recently. Anyway, he urged Christians to live as credible witnesses of the gospel through love, forgiveness, and unity. We really do need a more united world. There's so much tension, a lot of warring nations. At times you wonder where we're heading to. Anyways, so he said this during the 49th annual seminar of the National Episcopal Conference in Kumba. So the bishop described the church as one family of God, called to communion and peace, and he emphasized that true Christian victory is spiritual, not rooted in violence and power. I think he's making reference to this because of the recent violence that erupted after their elections. There's been all of these parts also across Africa, and we get to read and learn of pockets of violence here and there. So the bishops are actually reminding us that the church is a family, That's a good one. Carry to Zambia. They are condemning all forms of election-related violence against women. The country is heading to the polls this year. I'm talking about Zambia. So they are saying that no to election violence against women. But why just women? There should be no violence generally. But I do believe that they're feeling that this is a more vulnerable group as well. So Zambia will be heading to the polls in the month of August for their general elections. They are also working with some partners to strengthen prevention, reporting, and response mechanism, so any sort of violence can be handled promptly. Finally, I've got this story that has got me a little bit jittery. A proposed law in Arizona could make it a felony for Catholic priests to withhold information What kind of information am I talking about? Withholding information about child abuse learned during confession.
Now, this is a big deal. Why?
Such a law will mean the priest violating the sacredness of confession. This will mean priests will have to break the sacred seal of confession, and this is very core to the Catholic faith. So they are now at, is it an impasse or what? They're like at a crossroad. What are they supposed to do? They've got this sacred seal about the confession. You cannot tell anything, no matter the crime committed and confessed. You're not supposed to report it out there. But they're calling this bill HB 2039. It requires priests to report suspected ongoing abuse, or they face possible prison time and pay a huge fine. So, I guess we can debate about that. What do you think? Should priests go that extra mile, do their due diligence, report to the authorities if they hear that there is an ongoing abuse? I mean, we're looking out for a safer society for the children, yeah? But then, they've also got the sacred seal about confession. So what do you think is the right thing to do? I pray the Holy Spirit will guide in the decision making. Seriously, I don't want to be in their position right now because it's a tough one. Anyways, that's all I've got. Have yourself a very, very wonderful time, whatever time you're watching this. Bye-bye, until next time.
Please, I need your comments, share, like, and please ensure that you keep your notification on. Remember, Faith in Society, I will always bring you quick updates on what's happening as regards the Christian faith in our ever-evolving society. Bye.